I had a full-blown, first ever panic attack the very last time I saw my daughter that is now estranged. And crazy enough to realize that is 4 years ago this month. So I wanted to make a video talking about it because I know I am not the only one who has an estranged daughter and a completely broken heart. And there have been a few women that have found me on here and comment regularly. And just the fact that my words have helped them or validated their pain, like that's enough. One person is enough for me to put this effort out. Because the kind of pain we go through when we lose a life we thought we had, we lose our husband, we lose our children, the kind of pain that is, it's unbearable. You don't recover from it. You have to learn to live with it and find joy in what's directly in front of you and to be so thankful for every moment that you had that was good. I want to talk about the last time that I saw my daughter because it's important to me. And this is the anniversary of 4 years. And she asked if we could all meet together to try to heal, like to try to fix this. And I'm telling you, I set that up by text. And so the other 5 kids came. When she walked in the door, I hadn't seen her for months. And I hugged her, one of those hugs where the other person's kind of like, okay, are we done yet? I hugged her and just pressing into her just made the tears fill my eyes. And I just held her shoulders. I remember this so visibly. And I just said, I am so glad to see you. And there's a line in the song that I put my video to that talks about when she came back and she hugged me just like she used to do. That was that moment for me. I thought she was coming back, but that was actually the beginning of the real estrangement. But when she came to me, I had that moment, like, these months are over. We're going to figure this out. She's home. But she came in to talk about the things that have bothered her, and we listened. And I just love her so much. The other kids were saying, "Okay, wait, but you have that backwards. You're blaming mom for talking too much. Where was dad?" You need to understand that this is probably a year into the divorce proceedings. I was in complete betrayal trauma, complete loss of my husband. My whole world had cracked. I found out he was living a double life. He confessed to so many things I had no idea. And so I was in a pretty weak place. And I finally got to the point in the meeting where I realized this wasn't going anywhere good. And I began to have a hard time breathing. It felt really shallow, and it felt like something was sitting on my chest. And I couldn't breathe. And I told my oldest son, I think I'm done. I think I have to. And I can't. I remember just saying, I can't. And I went upstairs and I had my phone with me and I accidentally had record on. Crazy. So you hear me, I go up on the bed and I start crying hysterically. The kind of cry you do when you're an infant or a child and you're just super loud and ridiculously, the volume is just insane, just really crying. And I have it all recorded, and I'm going to put a I wanna put a little bit of it here for a purpose because I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this kind of pain. And when I rehear myself crying, I was shocked to realize the depth of pain inside of me that I had probably been holding in. But I realized at that moment that I lost her, that I lost her. And so my cry was real. And the other kids came running up, and I was on my bed, and one of my sons scooped me up and put me in his lap and was holding me. Mom, you're okay. Mom, it's okay. Just breathe. Just breathe. And I couldn't breathe. The wailing that was coming out of me, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. And I was getting the sharpest pain in my chest, and I could hear myself. And I was so scared for my children because I'm like, this is the worst thing they could experience. But I was just wailing, and he just said, breathe. And then you hear my other kids coming in the room, Mom, 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 it's okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh no, Mom's having a heart attack, call 911. You hear them. My youngest started crying out to her brother. It was so sad. And I had no control over it because I would have stopped it if I had control. I didn't want to put my kids through that, but my body was going to do what it was going to do, and it was letting out a flood of agony. I was screaming and crying. And I'm going to put a piece of that here of what a panic attack sounds like. What the agony of losing your daughter sounds like. The seriousness of it. I don't think there's anything like it. And so I'm going to put it here so that you can get a grasp of the emotion and the depth of the loss. That's what losing your daughter sounds like. I put that there to validate your pain. And maybe it's locked up in you. Maybe you let it out in anger. Maybe you cry all the time. And it's been 4 years since that day. I'm going to put a video here that I made. And I put it to the song When She Loved Me. And you'll hear that verse, that little sentence that I don't remember it exactly, but when she came to me and looked at me and held me and hugged me just like she used to do, that was that moment I thought she was coming home. But it's been 4 years. So I'm going to put that here. And as always, I will see you on the other side.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. And when she was sad, I was there to dry her tears. And when she was happy, so was I. When she loved me, through the summer and the fall, we had each other, that was all. Just she and I together, like it was meant to be. And when she was lonely, I was there to comfort her, and I knew that she loved me. So the years went by, I stayed the same, but she began to drift away. I was left alone. Still I waited for the day when she'd say, I will always love you. Lonely and forgotten, never thought she'd look my way. And she smiled at me and held me just like she used to do. Like she loved me when she loved me. When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. When she loved me.
Heartbreaking stuff, am I right? And I'm making this video because 1 out of 3 women have lost a precious daughter that they gave birth to. I remember the hospital room. I remembered her smell. I remembered nursing her. I remember the late nights of talking to her, because if any of the kids have my personality, it'd be her, in many ways. Very outgoing, loving to talk, and we were inseparable. I am doing some studying and trying to figure out what I can do. But what I know I can do right now is remain so thankful for all of the years that I had with this precious girl. And in all of my tears, I couldn't cry this hard. And I cry hard if I didn't love this hard. And I will continue to pray for healing and restoration. And I want to have conversations with other people, encourage other people. This is like a rampant disease. It's kind of just spreading. Hang in there. Pray for your daughters. Be thankful for your daughters. And know that you're not alone. That sounds so trite. That's why I made this, for you to be validated with the depth of the agony and to know there's hope, because there's always hope. And what we have invested in these children was not wasted and will not be wasted. There's that verse, that talks about the years that the locusts have eaten. God restores. He will restore that. So, hey, thanks for being here. And I hope you'll comment. I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to know if you're one of these 1 of 3. Thanks for being here. And I hope you'll come back as we continue to walk through these castle walls together. I'll see you next time.
When some